Hello everybody, today I'm going to rank every Fnaf game from least to most scary. First, if you're wondering why I'm doing so many ranking videos, it's because they're easy to put together, they're easy to edit, they're easy to record. All it requires is a simple 20-minute thought before making the tier list, and then I just throw the tier list together, and then boom, a video. And the reason that I've been doing so many is because I've been really busy lately, just doing random things. And I'm lucky I can even make a video today, because chances were I wasn't going to be able to make one, but I can, surprisingly. But anyways, yeah, I know that I'm currently working on 2 fan games, but the Return to Bloody Nights, I keep on dying in Night 5 at Endo, and I don't know what to do. And a Shadow Over Freddy's, I can't play that one for long, I don't feel like playing that one right now. I'll get back to it in a minute, but to be honest, I'm not a big fan of that game. So, a while back I told you to hold off on recommendations until I finish those 2 games. But if you feel like recommending something, I will totally play it as soon as I can. So yeah, with that being said, I'm just gonna rank all of these. Number 9. Also, I did not include AR because I've never played AR. I have twice, but the first time I couldn't figure out what to do. The second time I didn't like the game, so I deleted it. So AR is not participating, but what is participating is Five Nights at Freddy's World. And I'm assuming that you are all shocked that Security Breach didn't make the bottom of this list, but this game exists. And people forget about it. So people say Security Breach is actually the least scary, but it's actually this. Don't believe me? Play it. It's not scary. It's not even trying to be scary, so I don't even know if I should include it on this list, but I did, and I think it's fair to include it. Getting to the actual ranking now. Number 8, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. I'm sure all of you already know why this isn't scary, but I'll try to explain it the best I can on why it's so unterrifying. So what happens throughout every single second of this game is you go into a room, you get chased by an animatronic, and then you get jump scared. That cycle repeats throughout the entire game. There's nothing new, nothing original. It's literally just walk into a room and get chased. That's what the entire game is, with nothing original and nothing new. It's that same thing recycled over and over, and somehow they made a game out of it. That is why it's so unscary, because it's the same thing. Every single level is, or if you can even say level, but every single section is the same. So that's not scary because you get used to it after the first time. I never even got scared once playing this game. The first time I ever played it, I made it to that Chica part, and then that was the first time actually doing something. I didn't know what to do, so I got jump scared, and I didn't even feel like a sense of, wow, I need to figure out what to do. I was just sitting there. I was like, wow, I'm dead. So that's not very good when it comes from a Five Nights at Freddy's game, because they're supposed to be scary, and this one just gets as far away from that as they possibly can. So anyways, number 7, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion. I know there are a bunch of those on this list, but this one might be one. But let me explain. Five Nights at Freddy's, the first couple nights are usually the scariest. Even the Return to Bloody Nights, Night 5, I'm not even in the least bit scared anymore. But specifically in the first couple nights, the game is supposed to be scary. But with this game, that runs out at Night 3. The first 2 nights are scary, but then you get to Night 3, and the reason these games get not scary anymore is because at a certain point in this game, it's Night 3, there's just so much crap happening that you're not even worried about it anymore. So, the Return to Bloody Nights on Thursday, if you watched that video, I was freaking out because I didn't know what to do, and there was so much new mechanics, and it still kept on introducing, every single level it introduced something new so far, and I still didn't fully understand what to do, and it wasn't completely hectic. I could actually grasp what was happening. But on Night 3 of this game, it just all breaks loose at Night 3, and then you're not scared of it once you start night 3. And I think with that, if you keep that in mind, I think pretty much everybody would have to agree that this game's not very scary. I don't know, it's not scary. Number 6, Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location. This one was actually kind of hard to rank because I love the custom night, so the first thing that popped in my mind is the custom night, and I haven't really played the main Five Nights that much. I've played through all the original Five Nights probably like 6 times or something. I don't know. That might seem like a lot, but compared to the other ones, that's nothing. So on night 1, you go into the little thing under the desk, I think, and then you have to close the door. Which, I mean, it didn't scare me the first time, but seeing YouTubers' reactions, it seems to get them a little bit. Like the jump scare anyway. It never really got me, even the first time. And then night 2, to be honest, I'm not going to be able to memorize these 100%, but night 2, I know you go into the Funtime Auditorium, and then you go to Funtime Freddy, which is the main event of the night. You go to Funtime Freddy, and then he kicks your butt, and then you're stuck on it for 12 hours. That's exaggerated, but Funtime Freddy is way too hard for night 2. And that whole night, the Funtime, I know it's Ballora. You have to go through Ballora Gallery. The Ballora Gallery is a little scary. The first couple times through, that is still scary. But you'll get used to it, but that doesn't really matter. And then you get to Funtime Freddy, and that's actually pretty scary as well. Night 3, I think you go to the Funtime Auditorium. Honestly, night 3 is just a complete blur. I don't remember it. I'm sure you go through Funtime Auditorium, because why wouldn't you? Anyways, night 4, it's pretty crazy. It's the hardest night in the game, but it's not really scary. And then night 5, again, it's not really scary. You go through the Funtime Auditorium again. Night 5 isn't really scary, so it's really the first 2 nights. So with that in mind, I think that's a good excuse to put this low. And the custom night isn't scary at all, because at that point you've gotten used to everything. So yeah, I think with all that, I think it's understandable to put this low. Number 5, Five Nights at Freddy's. This one is probably an unpopular opinion, but I don't think this game is scary at all. Actually, even now, like, I'm being dead serious, even now, current me, I could get a little bit nervous on like night 1 and night 2. And that way it's scary, but for me, I don't think this is very popular, but for me, the game wore off super early on. And that's a common theme with these earlier games on this ranking. The game just wore off instantly for me. I don't think that was like that for most people, so I think this one's an unpopular opinion. But for me, it just wore off instantly. I don't really have any way to explain it, so I'm moving on. Number 4, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. Another unpopular opinion. I don't think this game is very scary. The first time I played it, I really never got scared. I guess the most scared I've ever been playing this game. Probably Funtime Freddy. Funtime Freddy. I don't think the parts and service where you work on the animatronics, I don't think that's scary at all. I've heard that that's like the scariest mini game in the game, but I don't find it scary in the slightest. And then the vent repair is not very scary. I can get a little bit nervous on that one, I guess, the Mangle one, because you'll have 2 Mangles. You have Mangle and Shadow Mangle coming from 2 different sides at the same time. But the most one is the Dark Rooms, I think it's called. I don't know, that whole section. No, it's not Dark Rooms. It's Night Terrace. I think the whole Night Terrace gameplay section is the scariest. You start with Funtime Freddy, which was the first time that I think I felt actually scared playing it. I don't know. It's been such a long time. And then you have Nightmare Ann, which is probably even scarier. And then, okay. I think you might have had Circus Baby second, and then Nightmare Ann third. I don't know, you could flip those 2, I don't know which order it's in. Circus Baby is like brain dead easy. It's nothing. And then Fredbear, probably the scariest mode in the game. I think that one's the scariest mode of the game. Fredbear looks like he's 12 foot tall when he walks in your room. So yeah. I think this one's a lot scarier than the other two. I mean, not other two. The other rankings down lower, like a lot scarier than those games. Just because, like overall, it's just scarier. There's more content and stuff to make it scarier. The DLC. I forgot to even mention the DLC. The hallway and the DLC scared the crap out of me when I first played it. I'm not even lying. Okay, that I don't even like playing it now. Like, I've only beaten it once because I don't like that mode, because it's like it gets me my adrenaline rushing, because I gotta outrun Nightmare Freddy, get to the end of the hall, watch out for all this crap, watch out for Nightmare Foxy in front of you. I forgot if it was Grim Foxy or Nightmare Foxy in front of you. It's a bunch of crap. But the DLC, I think, is scarier, I think. I don't know, moving on. Number 3, Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. I think this one's fair. I think most people will agree with me on this one. Obviously, I'm not talking about the simulator mode. I'm talking about the office nights. They actually used to be, in my opinion, the scariest in the franchise. If you would have asked me, like, literally 1 year ago, I would have said, this is the scariest bro, I can't talk. This would have been the scariest Five Nights at Freddy's game to me a year ago. But now, I played it. Like, it took me a year just to play this game because I didn't like playing it because it was so scary. And then I got back to it, I was like, wow, I was kind of a wimp back then. It wasn't scary anymore. But it still is. I think this one's super scary. Because you have to listen for these super faint audio sounds. Just like Five Nights at Freddy's 4. You have to listen for these super faint audio sounds on the left and right. And then you got to turn everything off and then, like, look in there. Even now, I will sit here and then play the game for like one round, and my chair is covered in sweat. It's like the most sweat-inducing Five Nights at Freddy's game of all time, in my opinion. Because it's like, wow, am I going to die, or am I fine? Then I'll start like getting nervous, then I'll start sweating, and then everything's covered in sweat when I play this game. But anyways, yeah. This one's scary in my opinion, because every time you look in the vent too, there's a 10% chance of dying no matter what you do. And that makes it even scarier, because it's like the unsure factor of it all that makes Five Nights at Freddy's scary. Which is why they also get boring after a while, or not scary after a while. But this one will never happen, because there's a 10% chance of dying no matter what. So you can never predict what's going to happen. And that's why it's so scary. Number 2, Five Nights at Freddy's 3. I think people are going to yell at me in the comments for this one. I can feel it. But I think this one's actually scary. It's not Springtrap. Don't act like I'm saying Springtrap is scary, because he's not. He's scary looking, but the way that he's in this game, it's not very scary. But the Phantoms freaked me out back then when I played this for the first time when it came out. The Phantoms, I don't know why, but they freaked me out, because like they would jump scare me. The first jump scare I've ever gotten by a Phantom was Phantom Balloon Boy, and I think that is the case for most people. But when I got jump scared by him, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what was happening. I reset the ventilation. Got jump scared by I can't remember. It's been a long time. I got jump scared by somebody else instantly, and I was like, wow, this game is crazy. I don't know what to do anymore. But I think this game is actually scary with all the Phantoms. And sometimes even for me now, I can never really predict what's going to happen with the Phantoms. I get jump scared by Phantom Foxy like every time he appears, and I can never predict it. So the unpredictability, like I said about Simulator, the unpredictability is what makes it scarier. And for me, specifically me, this game is unpredictable as crap. Even Springtrap, really, because I can never predict where he's gonna go, and then he'll disappear. I'm like freaking out. I'm flinging my mouse across the room trying to find Springtrap because I don't know where he went. And then I have visual error. Bro, I can't talk. I have a visual error, and I gotta reset that. I look back, he's right next to me. That's how that always goes. That's how the game just works. So yeah, like the game, I think is pretty scary. Number 1, without a doubt, I think everybody will agree, unless you say Help Wanted for whatever reason. Five Nights at Freddy's 4. I don't even have to explain this one, but I will. So, picture this, if you've never played this game. You're a tiny child that has like 7 or 8 foot, massive, super withered You can see their endoskeleton, just these super massive animatronics all over your house. There's some on your bed, right behind you. There's one in your closet that's like freaky that used to have a massive tongue, now it doesn't, but that's besides the point. And then there's two that'll come at your door, and you have to find which one's at your door. But if you flash light at them and they're right there, you die. And then the only way to know if they're there is by listening for them breathing directly on your neck. And then if you hear them, you shut the door. If you don't, you can flash it. And then repeat that cycle until you beat the night. I don't know if I did a good job explaining why it's scary, but that's why it's scary. Because you have to listen for the breathing. And even though this one's not as scary, I don't think it's as scary as it used to be for me, at all, because I've just gotten used to it, and I've never heard of anybody that's gotten used to this game, at all, because it's just, there's unpredictability to some people. But I've played this game, I have, I think, over 100 hours on Steam in this game, and I know what's going to happen at all times. But even with that, there are some times where I'm like, look, I promise this actually happened. I'm not making this up. I was just playing through the main 5 nights because I love this game. And then I went to go, Foxy went in the closet. I knew he was there. I knew he was going to jump scare me. I walked up, shined the light just because I was going to mess with him. And then I shined the light. He jump scared, he did this fake out jump scare. It scared the crap out of me. I knew it was going to happen. In my head, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to mess with him. And then he jump scared me. I was like, boom. And I freaked out. And it was funny. But yeah, even though I know what's going to happen at all times, I just get jump scared by it sometimes, and it startles me. Even now. So yeah, I think this one's easily the scariest. It's kind of like the Return of Bloody Nights, where every single time Fredbear or Spring Bonnie popped out through one of the doors, it scares me every single time. And that's how jump scares are in this game, where you really, if you don't truly think the animatronic is standing right outside the door, you can't hear the breathing, then you're obviously not going to expect a jump scare when you shine the light. So when you mishear it, and then you shine the light, it has this massive jump scare right in your face. And then it freaks you out. So no matter what, if you get jump scared, it's going to be unpredictable because you truly don't think it's going to happen, or else you wouldn't have done that action that caused that consequence. So in that sense, it's super unpredictable. But yeah, what I was saying about the Return of Bloody Nights is every time one of the guys popped through the door, it scared the crap out of me. That's how it is with Foxy in the closet and all of the jump scares in this game. It's awesome. I love this game. If you've never played this game, go play it, and then just play it. Just trust me, it's the best game ever made. Actually, that's not true. If you want me to make a top 5 games or top 10 games, tell me, because I think a lot of people would be surprised that I'm not even sure if this would make my top 3, because I like other games a lot more. But anyways, that'll be the end of this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Comment if you want to see more rankings and what I should rank. I'm having a lot of fun with these, by the way. But yeah, subscribe if you have not. I suck at outros. Goodbye.